Hi students, welcome to Sankalp Study Success. I am Tirupati Rao. Today I am going to explain about introduction of organic chemistry. Introduction of organic chemistry. Right. So chemistry mainly having three branches. Chemistry mainly having three branches. So one is physical chemistry. Inorganic chemistry, and organic chemistry. So chemistry mainly having three branches: physical chemistry, inorganic chemistry, organic chemistry. So organic chemistry studies the carbon compounds. Organic chemistry studies the carbon compounds. Inorganic chemistry studies the properties of elements and periodic table. Inorganic chemistry studies the periodic table and properties of elements. So in physical chemistry, we can study some laws and some physical phenomena. Right. So now I am going to explain about general organic chemistry, like organic chemistry. So first of all, we will discuss about the introduction of organic chemistry. So we can take in some compounds like cellulose, starch, sucrose, and some proteins like egg, milk, all. So all these compounds derived from plants and animals. So what are the compounds? Cellulose, starch, sucrose, glucose, protein. All these compounds are derived from plants and animals. Cellulose and starch are produced from plants, and sucrose also produced from plants. Protein like egg and milk are produced from animals. Right. So so these compounds are derived from plants and animals, right? Some more compounds can be taken like salts. Salts means NaCl, sodium chloride, table salt, and some sulfates or carbonates like magnesium sulfate, and some nitrates like KNO3. All these are some carbonates. All these are derived from minerals. All these are derived from. So some compounds like cellulose, starch, sucrose, and protein are produced from plants and animals. So cellulose, starch, sucrose are produced from plants, and protein like egg, milk are produced from animals. Right. Here salts like NaCl, sulfate like magnesium sulfate, nitrate like potassium nitrate, all these are produced from minerals. So these are non-living sources. These are produced from non-living sources. So these are belongs to living organisms. Living sources are living organisms. living organisms, like plant and animals are belongs to living organism, right? So the compounds, okay, the compounds belongs to living organisms are said to be organic chemistry. Organic compounds are organic chemistry. So the compounds belongs to non-living sources are said to be inorganic substance or inorganic chemistry. So once again, right, cellulose, starch, sucrose are produced from plants, and protein like egg and milk are produced from animals. So these compounds are derived from are derived from plants and animals. These are belongs to living organisms. Like another compounds like salt, sodium chloride, like carbonate, CaCO3, like sulfate, magnesium sulfate, like nitrate, potassium. All these are minerals. All these are derived from minerals. So these are the non-living sources. Non-living sources. The compounds belongs to non-living sources. Studying of compounds of non-living sources are said to be inorganic chemistry. Okay, studying the compounds of belongs to a living organism are said to be organic chemistry, right? So now I am going to discuss about organic chemistry, right? So some forces present in nature that are helpful to producing living organism like organic compounds. So that forces are said to be vital forces. Vital forces. So what are that? Some force present in nature that is helpful for producing living organism like organic compounds. Like organic compounds. What are living organisms? Plants and animals. So that forces are helpful for producing living organism like organic compounds. So that forces are said to be vital forces, and this theory is said to be vital theory. Vital theory. According to vital theory, okay, this theory is proposed by Berzelius. Who is that scientist? Berzelius. Who is that scientist? Berzelius. So vital theory is proposed by Berzelius in 1809. According to this theory, vital theory, so organic compounds are not prepared in laboratory artificially. So organic compounds are always produced from natural living organisms, but not prepared in laboratory artificially. According to vital theory, organic compounds are always produced from living organisms like plants and animals, but not prepared in laboratory artificially. Okay, this theory is proposed by Berzelius in 1809. What is that? Okay, some force present in nature, that forces are helpful for producing living organisms like organic compounds. So that forces are said to be vital forces, and this theory is said to be vital theory. So this theory is proposed by Berzelius in 1809. According to this theory, organic compounds are produced from naturally living organisms, but not prepared in laboratory artificially, right? Next, in 1828, okay, previously, in 1828, previously, right, okay, organic compounds are produced from living organisms and not prepared in laboratory artificially. Okay, Urea is previously prepared from living organisms, produce urine. So previously urea is prepared from urine from living organisms. Okay, right. Okay, like right. So what is that? Urea is previously produced from living organisms urine. Okay, later in 1828, Frederick Waller, with the scientist Frederick Waller. So in 1828, Frederick Waller broken the vital theory. Right. So okay, in 1828, Frederick Waller broken the vital theory. So in 1828, Frederick Waller prepared an organic compound. Okay, that is the first organic compound. Okay, na? Right. In 1828, Frederick Waller is prepared first organic compound like urea. So it is prepared in laboratory by using inorganic compounds. Like, so what its preparation? So potassium cyanide, KCNO, can be treated with this is the potassium cyanide, can be treated with ammonium chloride to produce KCl and ammonium cyanide, NH4CNO. This NH4CNO on heating, so this is the produce C double bond O NH2. So this is the ammonium cyanide. What its name? Ammonium cyanide. So this is the inorganic compound, not a organic compound. Inorganic compound. Right. This is what its name? This is the urea. NH2. Both sides of C double bond O attached with NH2. That is said to be urea. This is the organic compound. So, okay, on heating of ammonium cyanide, produce urea. So this ammonium cyanide, it is a unstable compound. So this is the stable compound. This undergoes rearrangement. Right. In 1828, Frederick Waller broken the vital theory. He is prepared urea in laboratory by using inorganic compound. So the first organic compound is prepared in laboratory. The first organic compound urea is prepared in laboratory by Waller, with that scientist Frederick Waller. Okay, the first organic compound like urea is prepared in laboratory by with that scientist Frederick Waller. Right. Okay. According to vital theory, all the organic compounds are produced from living organism. But Waller firstly prepared the organic compound in laboratory artificially. Okay, right. Later, who is a scientist? Kolbe. 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 The first organic compound is prepared in a laboratory like acetic acid by using its constituent elements. So this is the first organic compound that is produced from inorganic compound, but Kolbe prepared the organic compound like acetic acid from its constituent elements like carbon, 2 carbons and 4 hydrogens like 2H2 and O2 can produce acetic acid. So these are the like this is the acetic acid. This acetic acid prepared from its constituent elements. What are the carbon, hydrogen, oxygen? Okay. The first organic compound acetic acid is prepared in laboratory by using its constituent elements by Kolbe. Who is that scientist? Kolbe. Next, second organic compound. This is the first organic compound. Second organic compound, Berthollet. Who is that scientist? Berthollet prepared methane. Okay, what is the second organic compound? Methane. CH4. Methane. This is the biogas. Methane. It is also produced from its constituent elements like carbon and hydrogens. Okay. What is the first organic compound prepared in laboratory? That is urea. So prepared by Frederick Waller. So this is organic compound urea. This is produced from inorganic compound. Like ammonium cyanate. And what is this? This is the first organic compound prepared in lab, acetic acid by using constituent elements. And second organic compound like methane, it is prepared by Berthollet, its constituent elements, right? So organic compounds. So previously organic compounds are produced from living organism, but that is wrong. So that organic compounds are produced from living organism, that is vital theory. So that theory is broken by Frederick Waller, right? So organic compounds can also prepared in laboratory. Okay, right. Now what is organic chemistry? What is organic chemistry? So organic chemistry is a branch of chemistry. Organic chemistry is a branch of chemistry which studies the compounds of carbon and hydrogen and also derivatives of carbons and also its derivatives. right? So organic chemistry is the branch of chemistry which is studies the compound of carbon and hydrogen and also its derivatives, right? So carbon studies the compounds of carbon and hydrogen. Compounds of carbon and hydrogen like methane. This is containing carbon and hydrogen. And C2H6. This is also containing carbon and hydrogen. And its derivatives like CCl4. CCl4. That is the derivative of carbon. Carbon tetrachloride is the derivative of carbon. So which on chlorination gives carbon tetrachloride. So carbon tetrachloride is the derivative of carbon. So that is considered as organic compound. That is considered a carbon tetrachloride is considered as organic compound. Okay. Organic chemistry is the branch of chemistry which studies the compound of carbon and hydrogen and also its derivatives. What its derivatives? Carbon derivatives are carbon tetrachlorides, but not carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide. These are not organic compounds. Right? So if the carbon containing oxygen with hydrogen, that is considered as organic compound. Okay, if the carbon containing only oxygen, that's not considered as organic compound. So this is the derivative of CCl4 is the derivative of CH4, but CO2 and CO are not derivatives of carbon, right? Okay, CO2 and CO are not considered as the organic compounds, but CCl4 is considered as the organic compound. CCl4 and CHCl3, right? CHO, right? All are containing carbon, hydrogen and also some heteroatoms like oxygen, nitrogen and sulfur and also halogens, right? These are considered as organic compounds. But carbon containing only oxygen, absence of hydrogen, that is not considered as organic compounds, right? Next, okay, at present more than 5 million organic compounds are known today. So more than 5 millions organic compounds, more than 5 million organic compounds are known today. సో మనకి ప్రస్తుతానికి ఎన్ని ఆర్గానిక్ కాంపౌండ్స్ తెలుసు అంటే మోర్ దాన్ 5 millions ఆర్గానిక్ కాంపౌండ్స్ ఆర్ నోన్. సో హౌ ద కార్బన్ కెన్ ఫార్మ్స్ ఏ million organic compounds. So how the carbon can forms a million organic compounds. So what is the reason why carbon having unique property? So what is the specialty of carbon? So okay, what is that? More than 5 millions organic compounds are known today. The element carbon can only forms 5 million, more than 5 million compounds, and remaining elements cannot form this type of compounds. So what is the specialty of carbon, or what is the unique property of carbon? So carbon can form a million compounds due to carbon can forms million organic compounds organic compounds due to carbon can form say million organic compounds due to some abnormal properties. What are that? Listen to me. First one. One is tetravalency of carbon can form a tetravalency of carbon. Tetravalency of carbon. And second one, catenation property. Catenation property. Catenation property. Okay, carbon can able to form a catenation property. So third one, this is the second one, and third one, isomerism. Carbon can show a isomerism. Carbon can show a isomerism. And fourth property is formation of multiple bonds. Carbon can form carbon can able to form multiple bonds. Multiple bonds. Multiple bonds. So carbon can able to these four properties. It can form more than 5 million organic compounds. More than 5 million organic compounds. So what are that properties? Tetravalency of carbon. Second one is catenation property. Third one is isomerism. Fourth one is forms of multiple bonds. Okay, carbon can able to form multiple bond. So this carbon only having these four properties, and remaining elements containing does not containing all these four properties. Right. Okay, first one. What is that first property? Tetravalency of carbon. Okay, now I am going to explain one by one property. Right, first one tetravalency of carbon, second one catenation property, third one isomerism, fourth one formation of multiple bonds. So first of all, we will go to explain about tetravalency of carbon. Right. Okay, carbon, the electronic configuration of carbon, like C, its atomic number 6 is, so this is the ground state, the ground state, electronic configuration of carbon C6 is 1s2 2s2 2p2, 1s2 2s2 2p2. Okay, now okay, what is the outer electronic configuration? 2s2 2p2 is the outer electronic configuration, which is the incompleted orbit, that is the outer orbit. So which is the outer electronic configuration? 2s2 2p2 is the outer electronic configuration. Right. Now so the outer orbit containing how many valence electrons? 4 valency electrons. Okay, the outer orbit, okay, the outer orbit containing how many valence electrons? 4 valence electrons. So here carbon containing 4 valence electrons. What is that? 2s2 2p2. So 2s2 2p2. This is 2s, this is 2p2. Right. So carbon containing 4 valency electrons. So in the excited state, okay, the excited state electronic configuration, of carbon is the excited state electronic configuration of carbon is, so here the 2s to 2p2, the 2s electron is promoted to outer orbit, like 2s1 2p3, 2s1 2p3. So it is containing how many valence electrons, 4 valency electrons. So what its valency? 4. It is said to be tetravalency. So carbon can carbon having 4 valence electrons, that means tetravalency. Here carbon having 4 outer electrons. So carbon cannot lose electron and cannot gain electron. Carbon can sharing only. Okay, what is that? Carbon cannot losing electron and cannot gaining up electron takes place. Carbon can sharing up electron with other atom. Sharing up electron with other atom. Suppose we can take one molecule like CH4. In CH4, what is the central atom? Carbon. Okay, what its valence electrons? 4 valence electrons. 4 valence electrons. We can write this. So these are the 4 valence electrons. Now, okay, what its surrounded atom? Hydrogen. What its surrounded atom? Hydrogen. What its electronic configuration? 1s1. Okay, here hydrogen containing 1 electron. So this is hydrogen, 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 hydrogen. 4 hydrogens. Each gives 1 electron. Each gives 1 electron. So this is 1 electron per carbon, this is another electron per hydrogen. So these are electron pair. So this electron pair can share it between these 2 atoms. Okay, this electron pair can share it between carbon and hydrogen. So the sharing of electron pair between the atoms is known as covalent bond. So carbon can forms only covalent bond. Carbon can forms only covalent bond due to it cannot losing up electron and gaining up electron. It can only sharing up electron pair. Okay, sharing up electron pair between the atoms is said to be covalent bond. So carbon can forms only covalent bond, right? Here carbon can form 4 bonds, 4 covalent bonds, 4 covalent bonds, right? CH4. So this is the tetravalency of carbon. So in the outer electronic configuration of carbon, it is having 4 valence electrons. Okay, in the these 4 valence electrons cannot losing takes place, cannot gaining up takes place. It is sharing of electrons can takes place. So right, carbon can forms only covalent bond but not ionic other bonds, right? Next goes to explain catenation property. Right? So more than 5 million organic compounds are known today. So due to first property, tetravalency of carbon, and second one, catenation property. So what is the catenation property? So catenation is the binding of an element. It is the binding. It is the binding of an element. Binding of an element to itself. Okay, it is the binding. Okay, catenation is the binding of an element to itself to give a long chain, or ring structure, right? So what is the catenation? Catenation is the binding of an element to itself to give a long chain or ring structure. So right, so here carbon can forms same atom, like carbon can binding with the same atom. So it is the binding of an element to itself. So same element, carbon can forms a covalent bond with another carbon, same atom. So this is the straight chain. So to give you a long chain, so that long chain may be straight chain, that long chain may be straight chain. This is the straight chain. Straight chain. That long chain may be straight chain or branched chain. So this is the branched chain. So what is that? So carbon can be linked with the same atom to give a long chain. That long chain may be straight chain or a branched chain. These two are said to be aliphatic property, aliphatic compounds, aliphatic hydrocarbons, aliphatic hydrocarbons. What is that? Carbon can link it with another carbon. Okay, number of carbon can link it with the same atom to give you a long chain. That long chain may be or straight chain or branched chains. Okay, that both straight chain and branched chain belongs to aliphatic hydrocarbons, aliphatic organic compounds. So carbon can having more catenation property due to its bond energy is more. The bond energy, the C bond energy of carbon, the bond energy of C bond C is more than that of remaining elements bonds, bonds between the elements. So that means like nitrogen and phosphorus. Okay, and another one like silicon. Okay, nitrogen, oxygen. So which is having more bond energy, carbon C bond C having more bond energy than remaining elements. So it can able to form a catenation property. Why carbon can more having catenation property due to its bond energy. The C bond energy is more when compared to remaining elements, right? Okay. So it is the binding of an element to itself to give a long chain or ring structure. So that ring, this is the ring structure. So this is the ring structure. Right. All these are ring. So these are said to be cyclic compounds. Cyclic compounds. So these ring structures, these are the ring structures. These ring structures are said to be cyclic compounds. Okay, right. In catenation, two types of compounds are formed. One is long chain and the other one is ring chain. Okay, ring structure. Long chain compounds are present in straight chain or branched chain. Both belongs to aliphatic hydrocarbons. Another one is ring structure. So ring structure means that is a closed ring. This is also said to be, this ring structure is also said to be closed ring. Okay, this is not a open structure. This is a closed structure. So this is a closed ring structure or a cyclic compound. Okay, right. Okay, why carbon can able to more catenation property due to its bond energy is more than the bond energy of C bonds is more than that of remaining elements bonds, right? So this is the second property. And next goes to isomerism. Okay, third property is isomerism. So third one is isomerism. So the compounds like we can take an butane, CH3, CH2, CH2, CH3. So this is said to be all the carbons are present in straight line. So here 4 carbons are there, but all are single bonds, that is A. Here all carbons are present in straight line, that is said to be normal alkane. So that is said to be N-butane. If the carbons are present in a straight line, that is taken N-butane. Now this can be written as, right. So carbon must containing 4 bonds. Due to first property, what is the tetravalency? Carbon must containing 4 bonds. That 4 bonds may be all are single bonds, either double or single and triple, right? Triple bond, right? Okay, isomerism. This is the N-butane. This is the isobutane. So both are having a same molecular formula. C4H10 molecular formula. Okay, right. How many carbons are there? 4 carbons. This is also containing 4 carbons. How many hydrogens? 10 hydrogens. This is also containing 10 hydrogens. So the compound, these compounds having same molecular formula but different in structure. Here all the carbons are present in straight line, but here the carbons are present in branched manner. So that is different in structure. So that is said to be isomers, and this phenomena is known as isomerism. The compounds having same molecular formula but different in structure are known as isomers, and the phenomena is known as isomerism. So isomerism can be discussed later. Okay, next video, right? That is the long concept, right? This is the third property. Okay, last property, what is that? Formation of multiple bonds. Formation of multiple bonds. Right. Here multiple bonds means carbon can form a single bond and double bond and triple bond also. Okay, only one element can form these 3 bonds, and remaining elements cannot form these type of bonds. So carbon can able to formation of multiple bonds. Multiple bonds means more than one bond. So here carbon can form a single bond, and carbon can form a double bonds, and carbon can form a triple bond. So how to form this single bond and double bond and triple bond? We know that the excited state electronic configuration, the excited state electronic configuration of carbon is, what is that? Already says that 2s1 2p3, 2s1 2p3. So this is the 2s, this is the 2px, this is the 2py, this is the 2pz. So this is the 2s1 2p3. In the organic chemistry, the carbon undergoes only 3 type of hybridizations, like sp hybridization, like sp3 hybridization, and sp2 hybridization, and sp hybridization. So okay, in organic chemistry, the carbon undergoes only 3 types of hybridization. What is that? sp3, sp2, and sp hybridization. It cannot form sp3d, sp3d2, right, due to absence of d orbital. So here the carbon is present in second orbit, okay, but d orbital is present in third cell. So okay, due to absence of d orbital, carbon cannot form sp3d, sp3d2, sp3d3 hybridization. It can form only these 3 type of hybridizations. What is hybridization? So what is hybridization? hybridization, here 2s and 2p orbitals having both are present in second orbit, so both are having almost equal energy. So if the intermixing of almost equal energy orbitals to give a new orbitals, that new orbitals are said to be hybrid orbitals, and the phenomena is known as hybridization. What is that? Here the 2s and 2px, 2py, 2pz orbital are having almost same energy. If these same energy orbitals are intermixing to give a new orbital, same number of new orbitals, that new orbitals are known as hybrid orbitals, and the phenomenon is known as hybridization, right? Suppose here one s orbital and 3 p orbitals can be intermixed to give a sp3 hybridization. Here one s and 3 p orbitals to give a sp3 hybridization, right? So in the hybridization, the number of hybrid orbitals are formed is equal to the number of combining fewer orbitals. So these are said to be fewer orbitals. 2s, 2px, 2py, 2pz are said to be fewer orbitals. So these orbitals sp3, these are said to be hybrid orbitals. So this is the new orbitals. So in the hybridization, the number of hybrid orbitals is equal to number of combining orbitals. Here how many orbitals are combined? 4 orbitals are combined. So the hybrid orbitals are also 4. Here how many sp3 hybrid orbitals are formed? 4 sp3, right? So if the carbon, suppose we can take an CH4 molecule, right? So in CH4 the carbon undergoes which hybridization? sp3 hybridization. It gives a 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals. It gives a 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals. Right, 4 sp3 hybrid orbitals, all are containing 1 electrons, right, unpaired electrons. It's surrounded having 4 hydrogens. What is the electronic configuration of hydrogen? 1s1, right, 1s1. So what is the shape of s orbital? Spherical. What is the shape of s orbital? Spherical. So here 4 hydrogens, spherical. Okay, what is the shape of s orbital? Spherical. Right, this is a hydrogen, this is a hydrogen, this is a hydrogen, this is a hydrogen. So this is the 1s orbital per hydrogen, right? So these are the sp3 hybrid orbitals, sp3 hybrid orbitals. So here end-on end overlapping can be takes place to form a hydrogen also having one electron. Here this electron pair, 2 electrons are said to be electron pair. This electron pair can be shared between the hydrogen and this 1s of hydrogen atom and sp3 of carbon atom to form a covalent bond. Sharing of electron pair between the atoms is said to be covalent bond, right? This is the structure of CH4. Okay, the CH4 present in tetrahedral shape. Okay, sp3 can form a tetrahedral shape, right, tetrahedral shape. Here okay, here how many hybrid orbitals are present? How many fewer orbitals are present? Okay, in CH4 the number of hybrid orbitals and the number of fewer orbitals. So number of hybrid orbitals is equal to, so here the one carbon is there, that is undergoes sp3 hybridization. sp3 hybridization means how many orbitals? Okay, we know that in the hybridization number of hybrid orbitals is equal to number of combining orbitals. Here how many orbitals are combined? 1 2 3 4 orbitals, that means 4 sp3. How many sp3? 4 sp3. So here hybrid orbitals is equal to 4. Hybrid orbitals is equal to 4. What are that? sp3, 4 sp3, right? And fewer orbitals. So that orbitals cannot involved in hybridization. So which orbitals cannot involved in hybridization? That is said to be pure orbital. What is hybrid orbitals? Hybrid orbitals are orbitals that are involved in hybridization. Hybrid orbitals are orbitals that are involved in hybridization. So sp3 are hybrid orbitals. So that are involved in hybridization. So here which orbitals cannot involved in the hybridization? That are said to be pure orbitals. What are that? So here hydrogen. What its orbital? 1s, 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 1s. So these s orbitals cannot involved in the hybridization. Okay. How many s orbitals are there? 4. Here how many pure orbitals? 4 pure orbitals. Pure orbitals. So in sometimes this is very important bit. What is that? The ratio between the pure orbitals and hybrid orbitals in CH4. What is that? The ratio between the hybrid and pure orbitals. Hybrid and pure orbitals in CH4 molecule is equal to, okay, how many hybrid orbitals? 4. How many pure orbitals? 4. 4:4. 1:1. 1:1. So this is very important, right? So here sp3, in sp3 hybridization, the carbon can form only single bond. This is the single bond. Okay, this is the single bond, right? This is the single bond. In sp3 hybridization, the carbon can form only single bond, right? Next goes to double bond. This is over. Next goes to double bond, right? So this is the, now we can take another molecule like, okay, this is the exit state electronic configuration of carbon, okay, right? 2s1 2p3, it is containing 4 valency electrons in the exit state, right? Outer, okay, right? Here the carbon undergoes which hybridization? sp2 hybridization. Here the intermixing of 1s orbital and 2p orbital, that is undergoes sp2 hybridization. So here the 2pz orbital cannot involved in the hybridization. Here one 2s orbital and 2 p orbitals can involved in the hybridization, right? To give a, so we can take in one molecule like ethane. All right, ethene. So what is the formula? Ethene. Okay, these formulas can be discussed later. C2H4. Okay, C2H4, right? Okay, here one carbon, we can take in one carbon that is undergoes sp2 hybridization. So in sp2 hybridization, how many hybrid orbitals are formed? 3 hybrid orbitals are formed. 3 hybrid orbitals. Why? Here 3 orbitals are involved in the hybridization. So that is undergoes sp2 hybridization to give a 3 sp2 hybrid orbitals, right? So this is the one sp2, this is another sp2, this is another sp2. sp2. So all are having unpaired electron. And one of the orbital cannot involved in the hybridization. So what is that? That is the 2pz orbital. So what it say? Dumbbell. Right. So that is not a hybrid orbital. That is a, right, pure orbital. Right. This is the 2pz orbital. 2pz. Okay, here 2 carbons are there. 2 carbons. We can write same another carbon also, that is undergo sp2 hybridization to give 3 sp2 hybrid orbitals. sp2, right? Another 2pz orbitals are also there. Okay, so what is this? This is the 2pz orbital. 2pz. So this is also 2pz. So these two are, this is also containing unpaired electrons, right? these two are end-on end overlapping. End-on end overlapping gives a sigma bond. End-on end overlapping gives a sigma bond. C bond C. And these okay, here how many hydrogens are there? 4 hydrogens. What is the electronic configuration of hydrogen? 1s1. What is the shape of hydrogen? Spherical. Okay, this is for one hydrogen. 1s hydrogen 1s. Similarly this, right, 1s. Okay, all are containing 1 electrons. Okay, here also these two, this 1s orbital and sp2 orbitals are also undergoes end-on end overlapping to form sigma bond. This also, sorry, not this, this one, hydrogen 1s can form a sigma bond. Okay, 2 electrons sharing up electron pair between the 2 atoms forms a covalent bond. Similarly this also, this also. Here these 2 orbitals cannot end-on end overlapping takes place. These 2 are sideways overlap takes place, sideways. So sideways overlap it can takes place. So that means end-on end overlapping forms a sigma bond. Sideways overlapping can forms a pi bond. This is the pi bond, right? Pi bond. Here, so this is the structure of ethene. This is the structure of ethene. So in ethene, the carbon undergoes which hybridization? sp2 hybridization. sp2 hybridization. In sp2 hybridization, which bond is formed? Pi bond is formed. Okay, right? So in sp2 hybridization, which bond is formed? Pi bond is formed. Pi bond. Right? This is the pi bond. Double bond is said to be pi bond. So how to form a double bond? So if the carbon can form a double bond, that is undergoes which hybridization? sp2 hybridization. So here the number of hybrid orbitals is equal to number of hybrid orbitals. Number of hybrid orbitals. Hybrid orbitals is equal to, so number of pure orbitals. Number of pure orbitals is equal. So number of hybrid orbitals. What are the hybrid orbitals? So here one carbon undergoes sp2 hybridization. That gives how many sp2 hybrid orbitals? 3. 1, 2, 3 sp2 hybrid orbitals. 3 sp2 hybrid orbitals. 3 sp2 hybrid. So each carbon gives 3 sp2. Here how many carbons are there? 2 carbons. So 2 into 3. 2, 3 is 6 hybrid orbitals. So 1 sp2, second sp2, third sp2, fourth, fifth, sixth. So these are the sp2 hybrid orbitals. 6 sp2. And number of pure orbitals. Number of pure orbitals. So here pure orbitals, 4 hydrogens, s orbital. These are cannot undergo hybridization. 4 plus, and this is the pure orbital, 2pz orbital, that cannot involved in the hybridization. So this is 1. This is 1 per 1 carbon. Here 2 carbons are there. This is 1, this is 1, 2. 1, 2. This is the pure orbitals, 2pz are pure orbitals, and 4, the 1s orbital of 4 hydrogens, like 4. 4 plus 2, 6. 6. So the ratio between the hybrid orbitals, ratio between hybrid orbitals is to pure orbitals. Pure orbitals. You know, ethene. In ethene is equal to how many hybrid orbitals? 6. How many pure orbitals? 6. 6 1 the 6 1. So 1 is to 1. 1 is to 1. So okay, formation of multiple bond, that is second double bond. So if the compound, if the carbon undergoes sp2 hybridization, that can form a double bond. That can form a double bond. So what its shape? Its shape is a trigonal planar. Trigonal planar. Trigonal planar. And last one. So here and last one. Okay, here I am saying one trick how to calculate number of pure orbitals, number of pure orbitals, number of pure orbitals is equal to, number of pure orbitals is equal to, so 2 into number of pi bonds, 2 into number of pi bonds, 2 into number of pi bonds into, sorry, 2 into number of pi bonds plus number of other atoms except carbon, okay, number of other atoms than carbon, so or number of hydrogen atoms, number of hydrogen atoms. So what is the formula? Number of pure orbitals is equal to 2 into number of pi bonds plus number of hydrogen atoms or number of other atoms other than other atoms, number of other atoms than carbon, right? So this is the formula. Suppose here the in ethene, how many pure orbitals are present? 6. So according to this trick, 2 into number of pi bonds, number of pi bonds. In ethene, how many pi bonds are there? 1 pi bond, 1 pi bond, 2 into 1 plus number of hydrogens. Here, how many hydrogens are there? In C2, in ethylene, 4 hydrogens. Number of hydrogens 4. 2 plus 4 is equal to 6. Right? These are the right. Okay. Number of pure orbitals. What is the trick? Number of pure orbitals is equal to 2 into number of pi bonds and the number of hydrogen atoms. But number of hybrid orbitals is equal to, that is undergoes which hybridization first of all. So here in ethene, that is undergoes which hybridization? sp2 hybridization. So each carbon gives a 3 sp2. sp2 means 3 hybrid orbitals. If the here in the structure, how many carbons are present? 2. Okay, number of carbons into that hybrid orbitals. That is the number of hybrid orbitals. Okay, number of hybrid orbitals. So in ethene, how many carbons are there? 2 carbons. Each undergoes sp2. sp2 means 3. 2 into 3. 2 3 are 6. So how to calculate hybrid orbitals? Hybrid orbitals is equal to, hybrid orbitals is equal to, so the in the compound the carbon undergoes which hybridization? For example, sp2 hybridization, that is how many hybrid orbitals? 1 plus 2, 3. So 3 into, if the compound containing how many carbons? 2 carbons. So 2 into 3. So that means number of carbons in the compound, number of carbons in the compound into number of each carbon hybrid orbitals, right? Number of each carbon hybrid orbitals, right? So this is the trick. This is very very important. What is that? Number of pure orbitals is equal to 2 into number of pi bonds plus number of hydrogen atoms. So this is the formation of double bond. Now goes to triple bond. Triple bond. So the exit state electronic configuration of carbon is C is 2s1 2p3, right? So in suppose we can take in acetylene or ethine or acetylene. What its formula? C2H2. So that we'll discuss later its formulas, right? So it is undergoes sp hybridization. That means in sp hybridization only 1s and 1p orbital are involved. 1s and 1p orbital is involved. So that is undergoes sp hybridization. So sp hybridization means here the carbon containing, sp hybridization means it gives how many hybrid orbitals? 2 sp hybrid orbitals. 1 2 sp hybrid orbitals. So this is per 1, this is per 1. This is a 1 sp, this is another sp, right? Similarly we can write another carbon also. Okay, how many carbons are there? 2 carbons. 2 carbons. So this is also sp, this is also sp, right? Okay, now both are containing unpaired electrons, right? Now 2 carbons are there and each carbon containing how many pure orbitals? These are the pure orbitals, 2py, 2pz. So these 2 orbitals cannot involved in cannot undergo hybridization, that are said to be pure orbitals. Which orbitals cannot undergo hybridization, that are said to be pure orbitals? Here 2p and 2pz orbitals, that 2p and 2pz orbitals cannot undergo hybridization, so that is said to be pure orbitals. So what is the shape of p orbital? Dumbbell, right? So this is the 2py. Similarly 2py. Okay, another orbital is also there, another pure orbital is also there, 2pz. Okay, this is one carbon, this is another carbon. So this is the shape of pz orbital, dumbbell, 2pz, right? So this is for 2 carbon atoms. So this 2py also containing electron, unpaired electron, 2py, 2pz, right? Okay, here how many hydrogens are there? 2 hydrogens. What its electronic configuration? 1s1. Okay, what is the shape of s orbital? Dumbbell. Right, here 1 hydrogen, we can write dumbbell. Right, this is for hydrogen, 1s. So these two are undergoes end-on and overlapping. This is also undergoes end-on and overlapping, right? It is containing one unpaired electron. So that gives C. Okay, these two undergoes end-on and overlapping. C can form a sigma bond with another carbon C. Similarly, this C can also this C can form covalent bond with hydrogen. Similarly, this is also end-on and overlapping, that can form a covalent bond with hydrogen, right? These two are undergoes sideways overlapping. Similarly, these two undergoes sideways overlapping. So sideways overlapping can form a pi bond. We know that pi bond, and sideways overlapping can form a which bond? Pi bond, right? This is the pi bond, and here this 2pz orbitals also undergoes sideways overlapping or lateral overlapping. So that can also gives another pi bond. So here how many sigma bonds are there? This is the sigma bond. These two are pi bonds. This green and red are pi bonds. This is these blue color bonds are sigma bonds. How many sigma bonds? Sigma bonds is equal to 3. 1, 2, 3. Pi bonds, number of pi bonds is equal to 2. Right. So in ET, the carbon undergoes which hybridization? sp hybridization can form a which bond? Triple bond. Sp hybridization. So it can form a triple bond. Okay, right? What it say? All the atoms in a molecule like C2H2, all the atoms in a molecule are present in straight line. So that is said to be linear. So what is the shape of sp hybridization? Linear, right? Here number of hybrid orbitals, the ratio between the hybrid orbitals and pure orbitals, right? Number of hybrid orbitals is equal to how much? 1. So it undergoes which hybridization? sp. So each carbon gives how many? sp means 2. Okay, each carbon gives 2. How many carbons are there? 2. 2 2s are 4. 4 is 2. So number of hybrid orbitals is equal to 4. 1, 2, 1 sp, 2 sp, 3 sp, 4 sp, 4 hybrid orbitals. And pure orbitals is equal to, what is the formula? Number of pure orbitals is equal to 2 into, what is that? 2 into number of pi bonds. Here number of pi bonds are, how many pi bonds are there? 3 pi bonds. 2 pi bonds. 1, 2, right? Already says that. How many pi bonds? 2 pi bonds. So 2 into how many pi bonds? Okay, 2 into number of pi bonds, 2, plus Number of hydrogens in ethyl 2. So 4 is to 2 to the 4 plus 2 6. 4 is to 6. Okay, 4 is to 6 means what are the 6 pure orbitals? 1 hydrogen, second hydrogen, 2 s orbitals, pure orbitals. So this is 3 py, 2 py, 3, 2 pz, 4. This is for another carbon, this is 5, this is 6. So total 6 pure orbitals are there. What its ratio? 2 2 ja, 2 3 ja. Okay, 2 is to 3. Okay, what is the formula? What is the formula of number of pure orbitals? Number of pure orbitals is equal to, this is very very important trick. Number of pure orbitals is equal to 2 into number of pi bonds plus number of hydrogen atoms. So this is the important formula, right? So carbon can form here 3 bonds, that is single bond, double bond, triple bond. If the carbon undergoes sp3 hybridization, that can form a single bond, and it is undergoes which hybridization? Sp3 hybridization, that can form a single bond. That all the 4 bonds. So if the carbon undergoes sp3 hybridization, that can form a single bond. All that 4 bonds are, carbon must containing 4 bonds. Carbon must containing 4 bonds. All that 4 bonds are single bonds. Okay. In sp3 hybridization, percentage of hybrid orbitals character. Percentage of orbitals character. Orbitals character. Okay. Percentage of orbitals character. So this is 100. So totally it is 100%. So 100 by 4 means 25. S is 25, S character, P character. It is only 1. So that means 25%. It is how many? Okay, 4 is equal to, 4x is equal to 100. X is equal to 100 by 4. That means 25. Here x is equal to like 1s, right? 25. Here x is equal to 3 p orbitals. 3 into 25, 75%. 75%. So what it's hybridized? What it's a tetrahedral? Tetrahedral. Okay. What its bond angle? So this is the orientation or shape. Shape. So bond angle for sp3 hybridization. Right. Bond angle is equal to 109 degrees 28 minutes for sp3 hybridization. What is bond angle? 109 degrees 28 minutes. For sp2 hybridization, it can forms double bond. It can forms a double bond. So one must be double bond, another are single bonds, right? So in sp2 hybridization, 3 by 100, 100 by 100% by 3, 1, 2, 3. 3 is equal to 33.3. So 33.3. So S is 1. So S character is 33.3%. And P character, how many P orbitals are there? 2. So 2 into 33.3. So that means 66.6%. So in sp2 hybridization, what it say? Already says the trigonal planar. So what its bond angle? 120 degrees. This is the trigonal planar. So what its bond angle? 120, 120, 120, 360, right? Okay. And last one, sp hybridization. Sp hybridization means sp hybridization can form a triple bond. So one must be triple bond, another one single bond, right? So in sp it is 100 by how many orbitals? 2. 100 by 2 is equal to 50. So S is 1, that is 50%, and P is 1, that is 50%, 50-50. So what it say? Linear shape. So line, how much bond angle? 180 degrees. So 180 degrees. So this is the formation of multiple bonds Here the carbon undergoes which three hybridations, sp3, sp2, sp, but not undergoes any other hybridization due to absence of d orbital, right? These are four regions. Carbon can form a million compounds due to four regions. What are that? Able to tetravalency of carbon, and the second one catenation property, and third one is isomerism, fourth one is formation of multiple bond. Now I am going to explain about structure representation of organic compounds or structures of organic compounds. Right, structures of organic compounds. Right. Here any organic compound can be written in three ways. One is complete structure. Any organic compound can be written in three ways. One is complete structure, second one is condensed structure. So third one is bond line structure. Okay, bond line structure. Any compounds can be written in three ways. Okay, three structures. One is the complete structure, condensed structure, bond line structure, right? Complete structure. First of all, we will discuss about complete structure, right? Okay, we can take a molecule like C2H6. So C2H6, here in complete structure, so this is carbon, we can write another carbon, two carbon atoms. So this is the ethane, this is the alkane. So that is alkane, alkyne, that we'll discuss later. So this is ethane, that is containing single bonds only, right? Here how many hydrogens are there? 6 hydrogens. So each carbon must containing 4 bonds. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that remaining 3 bonds can be written with hydrogens. It is containing only 1 bond, and it is also must containing 4 bonds. That remaining 3 bonds with 3 hydrogen atoms. So this is the complete structure. In the complete structure, all the atoms like carbon and hydrogens can be represented with covalent bonds. Each and every atom in a molecule can be represented by covalent bonds, right? This is the complete structure. So in the complete structure, all the atoms can be represented with a bond pairs. This is the bond pairs, and some of the okay, that we'll discuss later, right? So this is the complete structure. Condensed structure. In the condensed structure, we cannot write bonds. Okay, in the condensed structure we can write only double bond and triple bond. Okay, we cannot write a single bond. So here all the single bonds. Okay, in the condensed structure, we can't write single bonds. We can write only double bonds or triple bond. If the compound containing double bond or triple bond, that can be written. Okay, otherwise cannot written, right? So this is a carbon. It's surrounding how many hydrogens are present? 3 hydrogens. That can be written CH3. And don't write this single bond. And this is the carbon. It is also containing how many hydrogens? 3 hydrogens. So this is the condensed structure. Okay. Now goes to bond line structure. In bond line structure, don't write carbon and hydrogens. Okay, in condensed structure, okay, in bond line structure, don't write carbon and hydrogens. So each bond can be represented with n line. Each bond can be represented with n line. Okay, carbon represents the when the lines are meet. Okay, okay, listen to me. Here two carbons. Okay, two carbon. Okay, right. This is separated with one bond. Separated with one bond. That means one line. If the two carbon bond, here the two carbon separated with one bond. Here the two carbon separated with one bond. So that is one line. One line. That bond can be represented by line. That bond can be represented. One bond can represent by one line. One bond can represent by one line. So this is the end of the point. End of the point is said to be carbon. This is the end of the point is said to be carbon. So in this bond line structure, we can't write. Okay, hydrogens cannot be represented. Okay, in the bond line structure, hydrogens cannot be represented. So carbons can be represented with dot. That bonds can be represented with the line. So which bond can be represented? C bond C can be represented. C bond C can be represented. Okay, don't write C bond H. Okay, what is the bond line structure? In bond line structure, the C bond C can be written line, and the carbon atoms are represented by dots. Here, how many carbons are there? Two carbons that are represented two dots. Right. Next goes to third carbon. Third carbon, we can take an alkane. We can take in some examples like alkane. What is formula? Alkane formula CnH2n plus 2. That we'll discuss later. CnH2n plus 2. Okay, CnH2n plus 2. If 2 is substituted C2, 2 to the 4 plus 2, C2H6, that is ethane. Next, if 3 is substituted C3, 2 3 is 6 plus 2, 8, C3H8. So here 3 carbon atoms can be written. 3 carbon atoms can be written. Okay, all are single bond. This is the alkane. So each carbon must containing 4 bonds. Each carbon must containing 4 bonds. Right. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. Here how many hydrogens are there? 8 hydrogens. That can be written H. Okay, 8 hydrogens. So this is the complete structure. Condensed structure, how to write? Carbon. How many surrounded hydrogens? 3 hydrogens. 3. Next we can write carbon. It is having how many surrounded hydrogens? 2 hydrogens. 2 hydrogens. Next we can write carbon. It is having how many surrounded hydrogens? Surrounded hydrogens, 3 hydrogens. This is the condensed structure. Next goes to bond line structure. In bond line structure, the bond can be represented by line. Here how many bonds? We can represent only C bond C. 2 bonds. Okay, here one bond is present between these two carbons, another bonds present between. All right. Or how many carbons? 3 carbons. That can be represented 3 dots. 3 dots. So this is the structure of, okay, C3H8 like propane. Now we can write butane. C4H10. C4H10. C4 carbons. Okay, this is alkane. All are must containing 4 bonds. Right. Similarly, so this is 3 hydrogens. This is CH2. This is CH2. This is CH3. So here 4 carbons. Right. So this is the bond line structure. Now I am writing another structure like, okay, CH3, C, H, 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 H. Right. This is the complete structure of one substudent. Here, every carbon containing 4 bonds. 4 bonds means each bond containing 2 electrons. 2 electron means 4 2 is 8. This is containing 4 bonds. 1, 2, 3, 4. For each containing 2 electrons. 4 2 is 8. So, which is containing 8 electrons is surrounded. That is the octet. That is octet. So, this is also said to be, this complete structure is also said to be Lewis representation structure. Lewis representation structure. It can follow the octet rule. So octet rule means that must containing 8 electrons in the surrounding, right? So here all are containing 4 bonds. That means 4 bonds means 4 to 8 electrons. So that is the octet. Here oxygen, right? Here oxygen, 2 bonds are there. 2 to the 4 electrons. 2 to the 4 electrons. But oxygen does not containing octet. So for octet, for getting of octet, that remaining 2 bonds, remaining can be represented with lone pairs. Remaining 4 electrons can be represented by lone pairs. So here oxygen containing 8 electrons is surrounding 1 bond, 2 bond. These 2 are bond pairs. These 2 are lone pairs. So in the complete structure, lone pair also written for getting octet configuration, but not octet, but don't write octet for hydrogen. Right, don't write octet for hydrogen. Why? Hydrogen having 1 electron, 1s1. If it gain 1 electron to got helium electronic configuration 1s2. So that is containing it surrounding only 2 electrons. Hydrogen surrounding only 2 electrons, right? So this is the complete structure. Now we can write condenser structure. C, right? C, it surrounded atoms are 3, CH3, right? C, right? Here OH is there. That can be written bracket. Here substituent can be written in bracket, and it is also hydrogen, right? So CH, its surrounding having its substituent can be written in bracket, and CH, okay, it is also having substituent. What is that? CH3, 3 hydrogens, CH3. So that substituent can be written in bracket, and last one CH3. So this is the condenser structure. So bond line structure, how to represent carbons? 4 bonds means right, 4 carbons that can be represented in this way. So this is a OH, and this is CH3. In the third carbon CH3, one substituent is there. So this is the bond line representation. Don't write carbon and hydrogens in normal alkanes, but if the groups like OH, because a functional group like OH, CHO, and right, COOH, that can be written. So don't write carbon hydrogen, but remaining functional groups can be written in the bond line structure. So this is the complete and condensed and bond line structure. Okay, last example, if we can take an alkene. We can take an alkene. What its formula? CnH2n. So we can take in 2 carbons, C2H4. C2H4 means 2 carbons. 2 carbons means, So this is alkene that must containing double bond and remaining with hydrogens, okay, C2H4. So condenser structure, in condenser structure we can write double bond, don't write single bond, but double bond can be written. So it's surrounded two hydrogens, that is the double bond. In bond line structure, that bonds can be represented only, that bonds can double bond, right? We can take an right C3H, okay, similarly we can write CH double bond CH double bond CH. So this is the one complete structure. We can write condensed structure CH2 double bond can be written in the condensed structure CH double bond CH2. So what it's bond line structure, we can write in bond line structure, we can write only bonds, double bond, single bond, double bond, single bond, and next double bond. Okay, double bond, single bond, double bond, double bond, single bond, double bond. So this is the bond line structure. Okay, if we can take an alkyne, so what its formula? Cn H2n minus 2. So if we can take an 2 C2H2. So in C2H2, this is alkyne that must contain triple bond. So one hydrogen, another hydrogen. Okay, this is the complete structure. We can write condenser structure CH triple bond also written CH triple bond CH. So this is the triple bond. This is the bond line structure. I hope to clear this everyone. Please subscribe our channel.